I want to tell you about the biggest mistake I see new homesteaders make with their gardens. They work hard, they till the soil, they haul in compost, they spend money at the nursery, and every spring they're back at square one. Dead plants, empty beds. The same investment, the same work, the same heartbreak year after year. Here's the truth that experienced homesteaders know. The secret to a beautiful, productive, low-effort garden isn't working harder in spring. It's choosing plants that work for you. Plants that were built by nature to survive, come back, and get stronger every single year. Today I'm giving you a list of 10 perennial flowers that are nearly impossible to kill, will bloom reliably through heat waves and cold snaps, and drought and neglect, and will save you hundreds of dollars and dozens of hours every single season. Stay with me through number 3, because the plant I'm going to talk about there is one that most people associate with grandmother's garden, but it has a secret that makes it one of the most practical and profitable plants you can grow on a modern homestead. You'll want to hear it. I know, for some of you, flowers feel like a luxury. You're focused on vegetables, livestock, food storage. But let me reframe this for you. The perennial flowers I'm going to walk you through today do serious work on a homestead. They bring in pollinators, they provide medicine, they provide food, they attract birds, they can be sold at farmers markets. Some of them can be cut and sold as fresh bouquets for genuine income. Now let's start the countdown. Number 10, sedum. I'm starting with one that proves my whole point about tough plants, sedum, stone crop. If you have a dry, rocky, sun-baked spot on your property where nothing will grow, sedum is your answer. This succulent perennial stores water in its thick, fleshy leaves and simply doesn't need consistent rain or attention to thrive. It's hardy to zone 3. It handles poor, rocky, sandy soil. It blooms in late summer and fall, specifically at a time when most other perennials are winding down, producing those flat, broad flower clusters in shades of pink, rose, and burgundy. They are absolutely covered in bees and butterflies right through October. The tall border varieties like Autumn Joy are especially famous. One of the most well-known perennials in American horticulture, they grow about 2 feet tall and produce successive waves of color as the flowers age. Pink bud, deep rose bloom, copper brown seed head. Each stage is beautiful, and the seed heads provide winter interest and food for birds. For homesteaders with challenging dry spots, sedum fills a niche almost nothing else can match. Plant it once, give it good drainage and full sun, and then walk away. It genuinely thrives on neglect. Number 9, coreopsis. This one earns its spot on the list for one simple reason. It blooms longer than almost any other perennial you can grow. Threadleaf coreopsis, especially varieties like Moonbeam, with its soft butter yellow flowers, or Zagreb, with brighter golden yellow blooms. Starts flowering in late spring or early summer and keeps going, through heat, through drought, through the dog days of August, all the way until frost. 5, sometimes 6 months of continuous color from a single plant. It's airy and delicate looking, which is deceptive, because it's actually one of the toughest plants on this list. Hardy to zone 3, drought tolerant, happy in poor soil, spreading steadily each year to form larger and larger clumps. Divide it every few years and you multiply your stock for free. The cheerful yellow flowers attract a wide range of butterflies. And the fine textured foliage provides a soft, romantic look in the garden even when it's not in bloom. For sheer value per square foot, threadleaf coreopsis is hard to beat. Number 8, purple coneflower. This is a plant that every homesteader should have, full stop. Purple coneflower is one of the toughest native perennials in North America. Hardy zones 3 through 9, drought tolerant, adaptable to clay or sandy soil. The large rose-pink flowers with their spiky orange central cones bloom from midsummer into fall, and they are extraordinary for pollinators. Native bees, honeybees, butterflies, and moths all work these flowers, but the medicinal value is what separates Echinacea from most ornamentals. Every part of this plant, roots, leaves, flowers, has been used in traditional and herbal medicine for centuries to support immune function. You can harvest the roots in fall of the 3rd or 4th year, dry them, and make your own tinctures. Fresh flowers and leaves can be brewed into immune-supporting teas. The seed heads that form in fall are a primary winter food source for goldfinches. Leave them standing and you'll have a stunning display of birds visiting through the cold months. Echinacea is beauty, medicine, and wildlife habitat in one plant. It belongs in every homestead garden. Number 7, hardy geranium. This is one that surprises people. And I want to be clear, this is not the red annual geranium you see in window boxes. Those are pelargonium. True hardy geraniums are completely different, and they're remarkable. Roseanne is the variety I'd point most people to first. It produces violet-blue flowers with a white center from late spring until frost, one of the longest bloom seasons of any perennial available. It's a sprawling, mounding plant, about 1.5 feet tall and 2 feet wide, that works beautifully as ground cover, hardy to Zone 5. Tolerant of partial shade, adaptable to average soil. Once established, it's drought-tolerant and essentially pest and disease-free. It asks for almost nothing. For homesteaders, it's ideal as a weed-suppressing ground cover under fruit trees, along fences, or in areas where you want coverage without constant mowing. It's dense enough to outcompete most weeds, and those blue flowers going from May through October make it one of the most reliable performers available. Number 6. Yarrow. If you're not already growing it, I want to make the case for why it belongs on every homestead property. Yarrow is a native North American wildflower. You've almost certainly seen it growing in meadows that produces flat-topped flower clusters in white, yellow, pink, or red. It's one of the most adaptable perennials in existence. Hardy zones 3 through 9, thrives in poor and dry soil, spreads via underground runners and self-seeding, completely drought-tolerant, and deer-resistant. The ecological value is remarkable. Those flat flower clusters attract parasitic wasps, lacewings, and predatory beetles, beneficial insects that eat pests. Planting yarrow near your food garden is natural pest management, but there is also an ancient medicinal tradition around this plant. It was reportedly carried by soldiers into battle for its wound-healing properties. It's used in traditional herbalism for fever, inflammation, and digestive support. Dry the flowers and leaves for your cabinet. Yarrow also cuts beautifully, both fresh and dried. A bundle of dried yarrow holds its color for months. Number 5. Balloon flower. This is a plant that most people have never heard of, which is a shame because it's one of the most charming and reliable perennials. Balloon flower gets its name from the flower buds. They inflate into little balloon-like spheres before they pop open into 5-pointed star-shaped blooms. It's genuinely delightful to watch. It blooms from early to midsummer, and it's hardy all the way to Zone 3. It's drought and heat tolerant. The taproot goes deep, which makes it very drought resistant, but also means you don't want to move it once it's planted. Choose its location thoughtfully. Balloon flower is slow to emerge in spring, sometimes so late that gardeners worry it's dead. Mark its location well so you don't accidentally dig it up. Once it emerges, it grows quickly, and once it's established, you have a permanent, reliable bloom machine that requires nothing but sunshine. It delivers without any fuss. Number 4. Peony. I know, peonies are not what most people think of when they hear low maintenance, but a properly planted peony is incredibly durable. Peonies live for 100 years. There are documented peonies that have been blooming in the same location for a century. On a homestead, that's a legacy. The flowers are spectacular. Enormous, fragrant, lush blossoms in white, pink, red, and coral that are among the most coveted cut flowers in the world. Peony bouquets at farmers markets sell for premium prices. A well-established peony patch is a genuine cut flower business in the making. Hardy to Zone 3. Full sun, good drainage, and the critical rule: don't plant the eyes more than 1 to 2 inches below the surface. Too deep and they won't bloom. Get the planting depth right, be patient through the first 2 slow years, and you'll have something extraordinary for the rest of your life. Now for the one I promised. Number 3. Lavender. Here we are, the one I promised you at the start, the one that surprises people when they hear what it's actually capable of. Now, some of you think lavender is just a pretty plant for craft projects, sachets and soaps. But let me tell you what lavender actually is on a working homestead. Humans have cultivated this for 2,500 years. English lavender is hardy to Zone 5. Give it full sun and drainage, and it can live for 15 or 20 years. Now here's the part that matters. Lavender is a commercial crop. Small lavender farms are generating serious income from bundles, oils, and honey. Dried lavender bundles sell at farmers markets for $5 to $8 per bundle. A lavender-infused honey jar can sell for $10 to $15. Lavender simple syrup, sachets, eye pillows, linen spray, all of these are cottage industry products you can make and sell locally or online. Beyond income, lavender is deeply medicinal. The essential oil has documented benefits for stress, sleep, and pain. You can even distill your own oil at home. And for the garden itself, lavender is one of the premier pollinator plants on Earth. If you keep bees, a lavender planting near your hives is invaluable. This plant earns its place as a genuine, multi-use, income-generating asset. That's why I wanted you to hear about it. Moving on to number 2. Number 2, helenium, also called sneezeweed. Though don't let the name put you off, it doesn't cause sneezing. The name comes from its historical use in making snuff. Helenium is a late summer and fall bloomer, one of the best, producing daisy-like flowers in rich shades of gold, amber, orange, and deep red-brown. It fills the gap in the perennial garden between midsummer and frost beautifully. The colors are warm and autumnal, bridging the seasons in a way few other plants do. Hardy to Zone 3, it handles the heat and humidity of American summers well. It spreads steadily by division of the crown, which keeps it vigorous. Divide every 3 years or so and you multiply your stock endlessly. The late blooms are critically important for native bees and monarchs fueling up for migration in August and September. Helenium blooming in late August in the Midwest is a lifeline for migrating pollinators at exactly the right moment. That ecological timing makes it a genuinely important plant, not just a pretty one. And the number one spot on this list goes to a plant that I believe is one of the most spectacular native perennials in North America, cardinal flower. Cardinal flower produces tall, upright spikes of the most intense scarlet red in the plant world, not orange red, pure, burning, impossible scarlet. These flower spikes emerge from midsummer through early fall and can reach 3 to 4 feet tall. And here's why it earns the number one spot. Cardinal flower is the single best plant for attracting hummingbirds, period. The long tubular red flowers are essentially engineered for them. Multiple hummingbirds visiting a patch of cardinal flowers throughout the day, and watching them hover and feed is one of the genuine joys of gardening. Naturally growing along stream banks and in moist meadows across the United States, hardy zones 2 through 9, it does best with consistent moisture. This plant actually appreciates more water rather than less, making it perfect for low spots, rain gardens, or areas near water features. It self-seeds generously. Once you establish a colony, it renews itself each year. The parent plants may be short-lived, but the seedlings fill in to keep the colony going indefinitely. Cardinal flower is beauty, habitat, and conservation. It connects your homestead to the broader ecological fabric of North American nature. It delivers every year. For the color alone, it would be worth growing. For the hummingbirds it brings, it's irreplaceable. I hope you found this list helpful. If you did, I'd really appreciate a like. It tells me this content is worth making more of. And subscribe if you haven't yet for more on sustainable homesteading. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves and your gardens. Thank you for watching. 10 perennial flowers for a low-maintenance garden, a guide for a productive and beautiful landscape.